problem. We recently come up with a few products, and it has a lot of potential, but unfortunately there's a problem with it. So first of all, in my country we call it terong asam Sarawak. I'm not sure whether you all have heard of it. We call it Solanum laciocarpum, but actually there is still a bit of conflict with the name at the moment, and we don't have expert like geneticists to really verify it. So we just use that name for the time being. And it's a very unique fruit, which is very only people from our side that consume it, but you don't eat it raw. You have to cook it with like fish or vegetable like that. And from 2013 and 14, we have developed quite a number of products like slices, jam, juice, so on. But unfortunately, this crop is very susceptible to a lot of soil-borne pathogen, especially bacterial, wilt, fusarium, and also phytophthora. So we have to come up with a way to mitigate the problem. Of course, most of the current techniques that people will go for molecular techniques, but for our research center, we are not that privileged. We don't have the proper facilities, so we have to use a very low-tech technology. So this is how the plants look like. I think we don't have the pointer, but maybe I'll try. So these are the recommended variety. It has a golden yellow skin, and we have various varieties. For as well, this one is sourish, but we have a few varieties that is not that so sour. You know, it's a bit sweet, and we have developed things like dehydrated slices, jam, in brine, and also the juice. We actually have a request from a company from China. They want us to supply the juice, but unfortunately we have problem with the production. So there is where I have to come up with something. So this is another species that in literature people have used it as a rootstock. So I decided to try it as a rootstock. It's the young fruit is actually edible, but of course you have to cook it. And the root decoction, this one, the information I got from the internet, people claim that it can cure like stomach ache, so insect bite, so on. And this particular species is perennial. And from literature, people claim that it's also tolerant to a few soil-borne pathogens. So that's where my grafting work came in. So I'm using, for the rootstock, both rootstock and also for the scion, I'm using a plant about 2.5 months, which has 6 to 8 leaves like that. Then I compare wedges and cedar method. The wedges is as shown here, but cedar is actually the opposite of it. And another thing that for the tying, I'm actually just using the parafilm. A lot of people using the budding tape, which can be quite expensive. And for this parafilm, you don't have to remove it. You just keep it there, and it will just disintegrate by itself. And after that, you just cover it with a clear plastic bag for about 1.5 months. Okay, this is the interesting part. I try to reduce it to 10 minutes. So I believe this Solanum laciocarpum can be grafted onto Solanum tovern. And average yield I obtained from this particular trial is about 2.5 kg, which is comparable with the non-grafted plant. And of course, we observed that the cedar method gave higher success rate. Unfortunately, the main issue here is from seeding to harvest, it takes about 10.5 months. The non-grafted one is about 6.5. So there's a few issues here in terms of the success rate, like the health status of the scion and also the rootstock. Of course, if they are not healthy, of course, it won't give you grafted plants also. And another issue is the environment, because like in my place, we don't have a proper plant house to do it, and all the factors we actually cannot control. So our success rate is actually fluctuate, but because we can get this whole plant, it means that it is compatible. So these are the main project that we are looking at the moment. And of course, I don't have the data yet, so I'll just mention like the field assessment, because we have to make sure that it's actually tolerant when you actually field planted it. And also in terms of the nutritional quality, it may change a bit, and you need to confirm it, or maybe it will cause the fruit from that Solanum laciocarpum less sour, because our people our local people prefer it to be sour. And at the moment, I'm actually using another Solanum species, but my management told me not to mention it here, because that particular one you can regraft it. Let's say after you plant it for 6 months, you prune it, and then you let a new shoot coming up, and then you actually let at least 3 to 4 new shoot coming out, and then you can graft your Solanum, and then you can get more fruits. So you get more yield. And that particular species is actually more tolerant than the one that I mentioned here, but I was not allowed to show that. And I think that's it about it from me, and then I hope I can get some feedback from you, because I'm alone actually, even though I'm head of the crop breeding. I'm actually the only officers there, so I really need some feedback from you all. That's why I'm actually really ask my employer to allow me to come here. Okay, so next year I think it's going to be in KL, but I'm actually from the other side of it. So if you want to try that Terong Assam Sarawak, maybe the organizer can change it to my hometown so that I can help to organize. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, fantastic. It was well thought, well presented. Unfortunately, he's hiding some information for us. So, the questions or comments or any? I'm seeing 3 questions. Yes, to the back. I've noted you.
This is the first generation of your grafting. Do you collect the seed, and how is the next generation of seed? It's via the lower portion, root portion, and also the fruit portion together. Do you collect the seed?
I don't collect the seed from the grafted plants, because I collect it from the one that we are using is a recommended variety. So
you think that we have need, if we want to cultivate commercialize, then we have need to each generation to grafting, or just use seed and the plant is the same as like you? I just asked you that question.
because this particular plant is actually you grow it from seeds, so it will segregate. So for our recommended variety, we actually more or less purify it, where we actually bag the flower so that the fruit is not there is not much segregation after you collect the seed from that particular fruit.
Of course, it will be segregated.
Yeah.
But I want to know that it's segregated. That means that it has the two type of quality.
Yes.
So it's the breeding has must be segregated. After that, generation to generation, it will be considered.
But yeah, so far we don't collect from the grafted one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I think one of the reasons you said you started the work was because of disease problems, right?
Yes. Yeah.
So with the grafted one, how's the?
It's still in the field at the moment, unfortunately.
Okay, so.
But the plant that I showed just now is actually I put in pots, because we want to make sure that to see whether to collect the yield data like that. So the field trial is still ongoing at the moment.
Okay.
Yes.
You know, the seedling, you have enough to give the farmer to cultivate. Though it is grafted,
Yes.
iron, and the stock. You have enough for the farmer. The farmer will not be able to graft it as you have done it.
You mean
You
you?
want to sell your idea to the farmer. You have enough seedling to give them.
We at the moment we don't have any plan to. We actually give the seeds of that Solanum lasiocapum to the farmers, but we don't provide the grafted one. So our next stage is once we get the result from our field assessment, then we will transfer the technology, the grafting technique. We will teach the farmers to do it themselves. We don't supply the grafted one.
The stock, does it have problem?
The stock is actually freely available.
I said, does it have a problem for you grafted?
No,
It doesn't have a problem.
no.
It's okay. You are grafting for yield. Is it yield or disease
Which-
resistance?
Which one?
You know you grafted.
Yes.
Is it for the yield or disease resistance? Is it for the yield?
Is for yield and also for the disease resistant. Because that's why we have to use a resistant rootstock so that we can get a good yield. That's why we have to go for the grafting. Okay.
Okay, just a small comment. What's the lifespan after grafting? How long does it take?
It's only for one season.
For one season?
Yes. Even the non-grafted one, also one season. You can get a second ratoon crop, but the yield is lower.
So effectively, the grafted one, it gives you an easy, quick picking windows, is it?
Yes.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Can you give him a hand of applause?
Thank you.